Drake and Bob the G-Lock. He run up at it, get pop, yeah, I rap, but fuck this hip-hop. I'm active, but don't get dropped. Niggas hush, they walk with flip-flops. Hey, rats and cheese, they get chopped. From the slum straight to the tip-top. It's on me, bitch, don't get popped. Feel like 50, all in one swap. Ran off the plug, got too hot. We had hoes and balls in two spots. Put off Corvette, the roof shot. The shine, smoking moon rock. Feel like I feel like Tupac in LA. We ride with two blocks. Start rapping, face got too hot.
Bitch, make a nigga rich.
Oh yeah, baby. It's baby. The baby crew. Baby the master. Baby the king. Baby the dude. Leave a baby like if you baby sub. You baby fool. Yeah, we're doing Eltona. It's version 3, baby. The start of it, we're getting in there. Fun facts here over on the Koopa channel. This was actually the first dungeon I ever did in Dragon Quest III. We were the elf race first and foremost. So come on now, I have to go with the cutest, the most kawaii of races. Unless I want to be a racist. But yeah, Cuckoos are my favorite. Hands down. I would say Cuckoo's the best race. I just, you can't start with peak. What are you doing? Like, what do I want to just have the best thing forever and ever? Yeah, you can create 3 characters, so I knew. And honestly, although the Cuckoos look the best, they may have some better glam options for the elves. I'm not gonna lie. The glam options for the elves might be a little bit, more my forte. Anyways, guys, moving on to our statements for today. I'm going to mix my coffee a little bit. It's early in the morning here while we're running through this first wonderful dungeon of Eltona. Essentially what we're doing here is we're saving more royalty. I believe there is a dungeon where we're going back to the Sweet Tower. Oh, hey, look, I got a rare monster. Rare monster. I believe this guy is for an achievement too, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, we're doing some more of that. I believe the cutscenes in this one are bangers. We might be doing that this episode or next episode. The story spoilers, I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. We're just, we're saving the royalty. The quest here is pretty cool because we're getting a, I believe it's called a squelch stone or something, like that dries up the bottom of the Sweet Tower to go underwater. And then there's a little bit of an Indiana Jones sequence when we're stealing the jewel out of the tower, so that our wonderful Eltona queen can have her ceremony. She wants to be a sacrifice, but you'll see the goddess of Dragon Quest has other plans, and so does our wonderful hooded fellow. So that's about all I'll say as far as the story goes here. It's just more royalty. It's more back and forth funny business with this weirdo guy. This is just us establishing the goofiness that we're going to be headed into when we get into these version 3 areas, because it's going to get pretty weird in here. Not even going to lie. We haven't even gotten to the true nature of our new characters here, like claws and whatnot. So we'll get there. But today, we're going to go ahead and have a general discussion. We've sort of been on a Nintendo craze lately, these last couple of episodes, where I've been complaining about the good old Switch and all the fun new things with video game technologies and whatnot. But I feel like not even, centralized on video games. We're all just kind of addicted to the goon, addicted to the retardation of life in general. And technology making us all dopamine disciples. Dope boy disciples. And the dopamine craze is crazy now because you can get it through anything. You can get it through a like, through a comment, through a view, through anything. And I'm not above it. You think I'm above it? Man, my algorithm knows me better than my coworkers. My algorithm knows me better than my friends. My algorithm knows me better in my motherfucking family, man. And it's life. I'm not even gonna say it's sad. This is just the nature of us being tied to time constantly. And it's not like we even have less time than we used to. It's just we are hyper focused. You know, we're blinded and distracted by the systems that quote unquote aid us. You know, you can call this aid to a certain extent, but you know, convenience, not all convenience is made from the Lord. So in a general sense, of course, modern technology is of course aiding the civilization of mankind. But in general, guys, you got to realize the commodity, it goes deeper and deeper than we have ever needed it to. And because of that, the smaller things like per se a funny hoo hoo ha ha goo goo gaga video game company, you know, kind of overcharging their consumer base. It may seem like on the surface it's disconnected and doesn't mean anything and whatever, but no, I really think it has to do a lot with just the general addiction to everything. We don't want to be left out. We don't want to be by the wayside. We have to be on every new thing that jumps out of there just because we have the money, just because we have the capital. And this is why all of the people up top are scrambling, like literally scrambling to keep the people down who are not as economically inclined, because everybody has this mindset. I don't know one person who's not like addicted to just moving forward and constantly going into the goon dopamine apocalypse. It's just how it's easily, you know, that's the default. That's the default. We'll say that's the default, you know? But slowly and slowly, more and more forest guardians are awakening. You know what I'm saying? You see them dropping in here, and they're fighting back against the general populace of just being blind and lost and letting people, you know, just sort of come to their own conclusions. Because we're not here to actively assault motherfuckers with intelligence. You know, you just have to live your truth and actually, you know, walk that awakened life and lifestyle and truly stay above the bullshit. You know, there is a truth to the world. And I think the truth is within us, that we know what we need to do. We know what we have a calling to do. We know we have the energy to do, the momentum to do. And as long as we're honest with ourselves, you know, God's gonna find our way to put that path in front of us, put that journey, that quest, on our navigation maps. But the thing is, guys, very hard to come to this conclusion by yourself, because everyone's gonna pull you in this direction, pull you in that direction. The often way to do this and to get in this state is to free your mind and not think too much. And when you do that, a lot of people decide to think for you. Yeah, that's just the way the world is. It's just the way the world is. You know, it sucks, but I really wouldn't mention a lot of this stuff that I talk about on this channel to anyone. You know, of course, I don't like to have a lot of group chats or, you know, talks with a lot of people or parties nowadays, but I really wouldn't mention any of this stuff just because a lot of people aren't ready to hear it that I'm, you know, generally talking to all the time. And I know a lot of people find comfort in, you know, things like the news and things like finding the latest console and you know, things like going on Instagram and getting a bunch of likes, or, you know, going on Snapchat or making their content or whatever. You know, like me, of course, I like the process of making these. And this is something that I had to realize in a lot of my vices in life. A lot of your vices, you really like the process of getting to do them, not necessarily the results of the aftermath, right? You know what I'm saying? So you have to realize, I enjoy the process of making these videos. The reason why I've still doing like 3 a week. Now we're on to 1 a day. Now we're probably gonna stick to this for the rest of this year. I feel like I've got a good flow going on. But we'll see how long we stick to this. But the reason why I can wake up and do this at 3 a.m. and now I'm doing it at 5 a.m. again is because I actually love the process. It's not about uploading it and getting a bunch of views or making the videos and, getting a bunch of short views or, making the music and then having everybody, salivate over it and love it. It's about the process, and I'm learning that. And this is something that I had to go through my vices. It's like I love the act of breaking down the weed and putting it in the grinder and grinding it up and making the blunt and scooping it in there. Like, I like that process. I like the actual smoking the weed. I like the mouth to and breathing in, the mouth out, mouth off the tip, and then breathe out. It feels like a good. It feels chill. It feels like when I breathe it in, I breathe in the anxiety and the bullshit and the disgusting things that I feel today, and then I just breathe out. Let it go. Let it go. I breathe in all the good, justice, power, lights, truth, and then I breathe out. It just feels like that. But you don't need the actual weed, but that process. You can mentally make that process. And it's the same with, we're going back to version 2, Masturbation Gora. And yeah, it's really like I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed the act of finding the video, getting the spark of inspiration, getting my area right, getting my towel ready, sort of just gooning in the middle of the video. But when I'm actually done, yeah, no, that's not fun. That's not fun. That's not fun. But there are multiple ways, and I'll probably get into this in one specific video. There are multiple ways, sort of, just stay active in the mind during that, because I feel like that's the only reason why we really let ourselves go like that, man. We're just not in the moment. We're not actively there with ourselves, and maybe we are. But if you're mentally checked in and you're doing that, then I feel like it's fine. The thing is, you have to develop a true relationship with it. And when you do that, you are actually able to stop, because it's like you understand that they need their space. You treat it like another entity, essentially. Because honestly, it's so disgusting, it's so crazily attached to all of us that I feel like it is another entity. I feel like that motherfucker is a god. It's like AI. We have our 3 gods of the internet. We got porn, AI, and videos. Porn, AI, and education. Or video games, if you will. But yeah, I feel like the addiction is getting a little crazy in general. In medicas, and what, I honestly don't know where perhaps we should even go from here. Besides just, silently, loudly expanding on our knowledge and working on ourselves. But we really do have to remember, it is not just a mental. I can't just sit behind this damn computer and say, get better, get better, get better. I have to practice what I preach. So I do train every day. Of course, I grind, but the Dragon Quest grind and the physical grind are 2 different things. I do love getting active, touching some motherfucking grass. Please and thank you. But I feel like the physical is always going to be combined with the mental. I don't understand a lot of my gamers who can't, take a step outside sometimes, because that truly does aid you. Especially in something like Dragon Quest, there are charge hours. So when you're off game, you're constantly gaining points to use in-game. They have the app as well. Yeah, there are a lot of things. I feel like I should make a comparison video between this one and a Final Fantasy, because I feel like Square, in my eyes, really dropped the ball last couple expansions with 14. But I'll leave my strong opinions for somewhere else. Let's go back to my other strong opinion. my other strong opinion, that we need to chill the fuck out. You see, the thing is, guys, you don't even realize that dopamine isn't the actual winning of the thing. It's the drive. It's the I'm almost there. It's the I'm on the toilet and I'm finally pooping and I'm in the middle of pooping and it's so good to poop. That's what dopamine is. It's dope. It's dope in the toilet. Dope, dope dookie. I'm sorry if anybody's eating right now. I don't know. I eat a lot when I watch YouTube videos. But maybe that's just me. Um the thing about dopamine is that if you don't use it wisely, it can control you, just like anything else, but it can control you in ways that you don't even realize. You don't even intellectualize. And the scary thing is, if this goes too far, it's very hard to undo, in my eyes. You know, I feel like undoing the dopamine, it's not something that we even really want to do because dopamine is something that's supposed to help us. But what I'm talking about is when you are so doped out that you don't really gain pleasure from doing anything. You know? And that's from a lot of shorts, that's from a lot of short form content, a lot of, playing arena PvP games and just gooning out and instant gratification, instant gratification, instant gratification. And then suddenly you're 40, 35 and nothing's really fun anymore. You got to jump out of a plane in order to like feel things. You have to remember, and this is a scary thought too, or here we go talking about mortality, but yeah, addiction is a strong topic, right? So we're all gonna die one day, right? Look at this tower. This tower with the water in it, that's your fucking gallbladder, bitch. And right here, look at this. This is you. This is you. This is 35. This is 40. This is 50. Yep. This is 60. Yep. This is 70, 80, 100, and now you're dead. You know what I'm saying? So like you don't have an unlimited amount of shit. So I'm just saying use it wisely. And also don't be so fucking hard on yourself when you're like, oh, I only did like 2 things today. Bitch, did you survive? I think you survived. I think you lived. I think you're okay. I think you still have a car and a house and probably a girlfriend. So who cares how much you did today? Who cares how much you can do today? Be kind to yourself for once. And a lot of the times, the addiction and the sadness and the feeling pity for myself is just going to lead us to goon to more short form videos. So, break the cycle, guys. Break the cycle, do something different. And find a different vibe to go to. Oh, I guess next time we'll finish off this dungeon. We'll fight the boss. We'll do the stuff. Indeed. Hope everybody's having a good whatever day I upload this on. Subscribe, and I will catch you on the next side. Flip side. Subscribe.